What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter from Panda here. Hey, if you're a traveling panda, you probably like having a carry-on, what we call maybe a roller board, you know, a piece of luggage with some wheels built into it like this. And I was on Amazon because I was looking at possibly getting a new one, and I found this, and it had pretty good ratings, and it was called a 2-pack. And so one of the, not 2-pack. And so I thought, man, for like $45, 2 of them, you know, what can be better than that, especially if, you know, one of them ends up breaking because maybe they expect it to be a little lower quality. So I thought I'd take a look at these and, you know, kind of verify some things. So one of the things I read in the comments was that people were only getting one. And I thought, well, that's going to be the first thing to note here. So I opened this up, and as you can see, you do indeed get a 2-pack of these luggage bags. And right off the bat, I'm pretty impressed with it. Now, you can see here how slim they are when they were packaged together. And so I actually opened the box and I was like, yep, it's just a 1-pack. But there are 2 of them in here. Now, they look to be exactly the same, so we're just going to look at one of them for the most part. But just understand that you do get 2 of them. Now, that kind of means this is about a $23 or $24 piece of luggage in and of itself. Let's find out if it's worth anything. First of all, solid, you know, black construction here. I mean, the material seems like, you know, it's pretty robust. It kind of feels like those holsters for like a pocket knife or for, you know, those flashlights. In the inside here, you can see we have like this little bit of like a rubberized inner lining. Now, this does not feel as thick as kind of my current bag. You know, it's definitely like flexible fabric, you know, kind of like a canvas duffel bag, but it seems like it's thick enough that it's not going to get punctured and just kind of tear on you like that. Now, if I open it up here, you can see the front panel. You know, it's pretty flat. Looks like here on the bottom, when it kind of has form and shape, we kind of push this out. We have 2 plastic, not really rubber, 2 plastic kind of bulbs on the bottom here, which are kind of your feet. You also have like this little plastic ridge here in the middle, which will kind of keep the bottom panel here from just sitting on the ground directly. And then obviously you see you have your 2 skateboard wheels, and then surrounded by a little plastic surround there. They do seem to spin fine, so that's good. There are also 2 zippers on either side, and it does come with a little tiny lock as well. So what we're going to do here, and if I flip it over, they do have like this, it's a plastic sheet. It's not super thick or too super stiff, but that does kind of form the bottom of the bag, and so that'll give this a little bit of a kind of a box bag form. It does have a 5 cities lining, not only on the bottom piece here, this plastic flat piece, inside the cover here, as well as inside the back. The sides don't have it, as I just showed you. They're just kind of rubberized. Now, the inside of this thing is just one big cavernous opening, which is, I guess, what you want in a carry-on bag. And you can feel right here, kind of like it's a backbone. That's the post where the handle is going to kind of extend from. So if we just flip this over here, I'll just show you that I can zip this all the way up. I'm not exactly sure where the key is for the little zippers. Oh, I see it. The key is attached to the plastic loop up here. There's 2 little tiny keys, and again, they're just those cheap little tiny keys. I'm sure this lock is protection just from meddling fingers as opposed to real true security. And then you can see here on the front, we do have a pocket up here on the top, and that looks like, goes actually this whole section is an available pocket to you, but it just kind of opens up on this top, you know, 40%, and again lined with this 5 cities kind of gold nylon lining. So you have that outer pocket as well. On the top, you have a sewn-in handle here, like a Cordura fabric, not padded, but it does have a little bit of a kind of plastic or nylon material there. Should be pretty big to be able to grab even with mittens on or whatnot. It's not like a big plastic handle like there are on other carry-ons, which I will show you in a little bit here, but you know, it'll work. And here's the back. Those little tiny plastic bulbs here that basically work like feet when it's standing vertically also are right here. So when you put it down like this, you kind of have these as supports. Now these are a little bit bigger, and the wheels will kind of work as other supports. And then the back here has like a piece of, you know, thin plastic all the way around, so it's giving it a little shape. Now, the handle for toting this thing around is under this cover, single zipper. Open it up, and there we have a little T-handle, plastic, and it looks like I can just pull that out. It does look like it's pretty long, probably about 18 inches, 20 inches or so, and it's a little T-handle. That should be pretty comfortable to grab. Pretty light, doesn't lock into place at all. Just kind of moves up and down, telescopes, two pieces here. And you push back down, you can sew this or zip that back up. So that's really it. Now, this 5 Cities bag, I just want to show it to you, with nothing in it, doesn't have a lot of shape, because like I said, it's kind of a soft bag. But in terms of overall size, how big is it? Well, it advertises for, as a 42 liter total volume, 21 inches tall, 54 centimeters tall, I think. So 21 inches tall, 14 inches wide, and 7.9 inches thick. Let me just compare that here to my carry-on that I usually use. This is one that has served me well over the years, and as you can see, pretty much kind of the same height on both, but as you can see here, the thickness is not even close. Now, they're not necessarily worlds apart, and I think this bag in most cases would suffice, but you can see here that the 7.9 inches thick is probably closer to 10 or 11 here, and I'd have a variety of other pockets and such, and again, hard-sided with serious plastic feet, right? So this has full plastic construction, kind of additional plastic armoring down here that can take knocks, and the handle locks into place when it's down. And again, like this handle is more robust. It's on metal hinges and suspends up, and there's also like a loop up here that you can clip things into. So and then also 2 telescoping bars. So I'm not saying that it's in this type of class of carry-on, but I think it certainly would work. This one was also more than $100 when I originally bought it, and this one obviously is only in the $20+ range, so you've got to understand that there's a pretty big difference. But I would say, to be honest, for $45 for a 2-pack of this 5 Cities bag, I'm pretty impressed with it, actually. I think, if you and someone else are traveling a lot, or if you just want 2 of these, because now you can carry one on the plane and you can gate check one or something like that, these can be really useful. So I'll put a link to it in the description. But otherwise, I think a good value just depends on how much you travel. If you're a real road warrior, you're going to need to step up to something a little more robust. But for a lot of people in your occasional travel, I think this will work really well. 5 City 2-pack traveling luggage. Peter Von Panda out.